I'm not normally polite about my atheism, kind of my thing, but in this instance, I was as nice as I am capable of being. Still didn't fucking matter, though. Should have been mean from the start. So the subject under discussion here was a local Facebook group. Though to say that it was under discussion is giving too much credit to the moderators. So when I went to the local No Kings rally in my incredibly Trumpy town, the main way that I connected with the little blue speckles in my red ocean that I met was through Facebook. I joined several local Facebook groups, including a local LGBTQ group, a local group that helps the unhoused, and a Facebook group for local Democrats. And that last one was by far the largest and the most active. But it had a problem, and that problem, of course, was Jesus. One of the moderators decided that the page didn't have enough of him in it. So about a month after I joined the group, he started posting daily affirmations about his Lord and Savior. They were the kind of generic religious tripe that Christians convince themselves is non-sectarian, but if it has a God in it, it's sectarian, especially if it's capitalized. So I reached out to the guy privately. I said, hey, man, and I'm directly quoting my message here. I'm like, hey, man, I appreciate that in your mind, you're just sprinkling some goodwill on other people's Facebook feeds, but that's not how non-religious people take your daily religious posts. As an atheist in Waycross, Georgia, I'm already bombarded with Christian messages everywhere I go, and I'd love not to have to deal with that when I'm in my home. This is a really useful page for local liberals, but part of being liberal is welcoming a diverse coalition of people, and these daily religious messages are doing the opposite. His response? Still waiting for it. So a couple of days later, it's now grown to at least 2 religious posts from this guy per day. So I start commenting directly on the posts. I reiterate my message about how, as Democrats, we should be going out of our way to make everybody feel welcome. I remind him that there are plenty of Facebook groups out there for sharing Christian messages with people. I point out that he probably wouldn't like it if I started using the group to post refutations of the Bible. No response. What's more, no support from anybody else in the group. I messaged the group itself, hoping that maybe one of the other mods will rein this asshole in, but again, I get nothing back, so then I try rude. Not because I think it's any more likely to get a response, but because that's my natural setting and I'm sick and fucking tired of pretending otherwise. Now, of course, nobody ever read this response, not because they didn't care. It just got bounced for profanity, and I didn't feel like it would have the proper impact if I bowdlerized in a bunch of references to nether regions and maternal copulators. But it seemed a shame to let it go to waste entirely, so I at least copied it for y'all. So here it is. Dear delusional moderation team that seems to think Waycross, Georgia has LGBTQ affirming politically active liberals to spare. I'm not normally the type that would announce my departure from a Facebook group, but when you run a motherfucker off with your petulant assholery, you should probably know about it. I joined this group after the No Kings rally in hopes of finding a place where a progressive-minded person in Waycross could feel welcome, and I was able to cling to that delusion for about 3 fucking weeks until, name of asshole removed, decided to turn this group into a carnival row for Christ. Just step into my shoes for a second. Imagine tomorrow as you walk through this bursting with Jesus city that every bumper sticker and billboard and church reader board and Bible verse on a cash register and message on a cop car and plaque at the courthouse and posters in the library and words in the Pledge of Allegiance and slogan on your fucking money challenged rather than affirmed your religious beliefs. Just consider for a second how unwelcome it would make you feel, and then consider what a prick you would have to be to insist on forcing that bullshit even into the few rare spaces that bill themselves as inclusive. Or hell, if that imagination is too much work for you, what about you just imagine if I took it upon myself to start posting an atheist affirmation every day? Every day I could drop another post about how evolution clearly disproves the biblical narrative, or about how okay your God book seems to be with slavery. Or hell, maybe I could point out how easy it was for unethical people to weaponize your faith and use it to usher in fascism in this fucking country. At least that would be on topic. There are conservatively 26 billion places you can go on Facebook for daily doses of your Jesus bullshit. There is, as near as I can tell, one place you can go to connect with fellow liberal thinkers in this blood-red, magnified city. But you've gone out of your way to make it unwelcoming. Keep in mind that many people outside your religious bubble, especially people in the LGBTQ community who are constantly being targeted by your religious bubble, see the cross as the symbol of a fucking hate group. And maybe instead of shoving it down people's throats, you should be working on rehabilitating it by not being the same petty, thoughtless assholes that those of us victimized by your church expect you to be. For once, eventually, ever.